Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. It's like first thing in the morning, and I've been doing a lot of readings lately because it's been like, I don't know, it's like life-changing or something. Okay, I split the deck. We got the Emperor, and we got the Five of Wands. So that's really interesting because it's just like, I mean, what I'm getting from this is like an abuse of power. It's like one person has everything and then one person has nothing. So I'm going to keep pulling cards and I'm going to see what we get. Get some overall energies here. Okay. All right. So at the bottom we have the High Priestess. This is someone who's really kind of tapped in, spiritual, like very intuitive. It's interesting because we have the High Priestess and we have the Hierophant. So this is kind of like a matched couple, but the Hierophant is underneath the High Priestess, but this is sort of like all the spiritual power like right here. So it's almost like the spirit realm is kind of presiding over this situation is kind of what I'm getting. So we have harsh truth, like the buck stops here, and we have the Star card. So this is a card of healing, and it's a card of wishes coming true. So it's almost like the spiritual realm sees this abusive power and they're like, the buck stops here. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. So that's really interesting, especially in the context, because like I've been relating everything to the Ukraine situation. I mean, I think these stories are all timeless, but like this is the story on the ground that like really demonstrates the energy. But there's clearly been this profound abuse of power that's been happening, and that's been coming to light. But this is kind of speaking to like there being healing and like truth, like undeniable truth coming out about that, and also speaking like the spiritual realms presiding over this situation. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. Okay, so at the bottom we have the Seer. So this is like following your inner guidance, which is interesting because we have all this spiritual energy presiding over this situation. But we have karma. We have the giveaway, like what you put out is going to be what comes back to you. And then we have water, which is just a release of emotion. So it's just like, OMG. Because the reading I did, the last reading I just did was all about this distortion, this generational curse, and like there's been all these readings about staying above the fray because there's going to be this huge release of just like energy, you know, and emotion when maybe this, it's like, maybe it's sort of like, because this story has been kind of like coming out and then like increasing like intensity, you know, over the last several weeks. And it's just like it's like we keep like trying to kick the can down the road, but like we've come to a point where like we can't kick the can anymore. Like there's nowhere else for the can to go. So the buck stops here. Like that's really the energy that's coming out with this reading. So, okay. So we have the Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So there's conflict. Obviously, there's some folks that are like benefiting from the can getting kicked down the road. So they want to keep kicking the can down the road. But when you like just like draw a line in the sand, like a boundary, there's gonna be a conflict about it. So, but there's a message coming in, and there's wishes coming true, and there's also all this fear and anxiety. So it's like interesting because these are both nines, and it's sort of like, and this is an 8, so it's like progress from 8 to 9, but there's like one card of wishes coming true and one card of like total fear and anxiety. So, I mean, it's kind of like it depends the outcome on which side of the truth you are on. But we are moving on from a bad situation to a better situation overall. But this is just like, oh my gosh. It's like the ultimate, it's like an ultimate showdown. Somebody's going to be really unhappy, you know. So, like, drama ensues. But ultimately, this has to happen, like, in order to, like, heal. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we got strength at the bottom. This is what we're going to need. But we have, you know, the end of a situation or ending, going to we're kind of taking a time out because things are shifting. But there is this cup of love that's being offered, and we have the World. So it's interesting because we have these two cards of like ending of an era, like a minor arcana and a major arcana version. Like this is like big, and there's like a cup of love in between, which is interesting because like this morning, like I was just like scrolling through Instagram, and the thing that like came to me was this quote, and it was like John Lennon, and he was talking about how like it's all about love, like, but people can't handle that, you know. And so it's interesting that this comes out, but that's what's gonna end all this conflict, you know. It just needs to end. Okay. All right, so going to the Queen of the Moon Oracle, pick some. Oh my gosh. Okay, focus. So yeah, like it's just sort of like, I think it's really important to have like clarity about like what you're trying to manifest, and like focus on that and focus on the positive, because that's what we want to manifest when there's all this crazy chaos like that's around. There's all this masculine energy, this young energy, like rah, you know. But it's just sort of like we have that and we have gratitude. There's sort of like this total polar range of what's going on, you know. But I think you should stay focused on gratitude and just like keep moving forward, because there's gonna be a lot of crazy that gets released in the course of this moment. So good luck.